The first scene in The Swapper shows your nameless character screaming and pounding on the glass as a tin can rocket blasts off into space. Wherever the rocket is headed, this lonely traveler does not want to go there. What follows is a game that evokes Metroid in its isolation and map layout, and Portal with its extremely clever puzzles. Yet despite these obvious comparisons, The Swapper manages to create something all its own with a haunting and intelligent story that remains gripping until its grim conclusion. Trapped in the abandoned space station Theseus, you're left to explore the dark and mostly silent corridors with nothing but a small handheld device that lets you create up to 4 clones and switch your consciousness between them. When you swap between these clones, your soul transfers from one vessel to the other, according to the game at least. In a practical sense, you'll directly control one body at a time while the remaining copies replicate your movements. When you step left, they step left. When you jump, they jump. While the cloning device isn't particularly amazing at first, its potential is slowly revealed. Soon enough, you'll be traveling vertically upward, leaving a trail of discarded shells crumpling to the ground as your consciousness ascends. Sacrificing clones is required for almost every puzzle, not only because it's often demanded to reach a solution, but also because a considerable amount of experimentation is involved. At first, sending clones to die may come with a twinge of guilt. After all, these guys are really just another you, right? As the game progresses, however, you'll invariably start to view them as a means to an end more than anything else. It might get you thinking though, why would the way you treat people differ if you were completely desperate? What's the lowest you'd sink to survive? It'd be easy to expand on such ideas through heavy-handed exposition, but The Swapper uses the game's core mechanics to slowly burn these questions into your head. Complex quandaries are certainly a highlight, but the game is also just a joy to play. A lot of the payoff is due to the fact that The Swapper simply refuses to throw players a bone. The game starts easy enough, presenting problems that only take a minute or two to figure out, but by the end, you could be staring at the screen for almost an hour, wondering if the puzzle before you is even capable of being solved. While that may sound frustrating, The Swapper only asks you to carefully study the environment and approach every dilemma with an open mind. It's rare that you'll face puzzles that incrementally build on the last challenge, so you'll have to continually think of new ways to apply your cloning and swapping skills. This often leads to moments of incredible satisfaction because you're not only discovering solutions, but whole new ways of thinking about the game. There is a significant complaint to levy against the puzzles though, particularly with the game's final trials. Success sometimes demands such precision that occasionally it's hard to tell if you're on the wrong track or just not doing exactly what the game wants. The solution could be so hyper-specific that you'll be sure the previous attempt was incorrect and try something completely different when you happen to be on the right track all along. It's the closest the game has to a real problem, and there are many reasons to continue forging a path forward. The inventive puzzles and smart storytelling here are reinforced with an impeccable sense of style. The game's subtle, claymation-esque art lends an appropriate degree of fragility. The space station you explore is very mechanical and imposing, while your character is like a bug, capable of being squashed at any second. The fact that clones are so disposable only enhances the feeling. Color is also used very effectively, your character drifting through gray halls like a ghost as lights loudly flicker in the background. Other tricks, like the screen getting fuzzy as if it were an old CRT monitor, add an alien element that only furthers the sense of isolation. To simply describe the experience as a challenging puzzle game would sell short its fascinating environments and carefully constructed narrative. There's a lot more to it than you can convey with a box quote or 1-minute trailer. This is a game that demands more from its players and treats them as capable thinkers. Don't make the mistake of dismissing The Swapper.